So let's talk about how the New York City obelisk was transported from Egypt all the way across the ocean to New York City. In March of 1877, the commissioner of the Department of Public Parks in New York City tried to secure funding to transport the obelisk. This was a free gift, but Egypt was in no way going to be paying for the transport across the Atlantic. That's when William H. Vanderbilt, the railroad magnate, offered to finance the project by donating $100,000, which is the equivalent of $2.5 million in 2021. London had already just picked up the obelisk that was laying on its side, so the Americans had to figure out a way to shift this obelisk from vertical to horizontal, and I was so happy to find these old photos of this process. With the obelisk being 200 tons, it apparently did almost crash to the ground, which may have possibly damaged it beyond repair, but it first had to travel 7 miles through Alexandria to a steamship called the SS de Soug. The ship had been heavily modified so that there was a large hole in the starboard side of the bow. The obelisk was rolled on cannonballs into the bottom of the ship, and it set sail on June 12, 1880. Apparently, the part of the propeller of the ship broke off at one point, but the ship was still able to make it to New York by early July. The 200-ton obelisk and its 50-ton pedestal had to then be cut out of the ship, and the ground surrounding it had to be flattened so that it could roll from the East River to a temporary location on Fifth Avenue. And this was actually done with 32 horses. The obelisk had to sit in Fifth Avenue for a couple weeks until eventually a steam engine with a specialty-built trestle bridge was able to take it from Fifth Avenue all the way up to something called the Greywacke Knoll. Greywacke is a type of stone that is naturally occurring in Manhattan and ironically also is found in Egypt, but this was a huge outcropping of this stone in Central Park, and it was decided that that was going to be the final place for the pedestal and the obelisk itself. The reason they liked this area is because the obelisk was going to be anchored straight into the bedrock of Greywacke. It took 112 days to move the obelisk from the boat to its final home, and the obelisk was laid in place on October 2nd, 1880, with a full Masonic ceremony. There were about 9,000 Masons that paraded up the Fifth Avenue with an estimated 50,000 spectators. I was really happy that I found this photo, which looks like it almost pretty much after it was originally placed there. And you can see there are no trees in comparison to the video that I took just last summer. And then you see the Met behind you, which looks completely different. This transport went way more smoothly than the London obelisk, so check out my next video to learn more.